Public comment sessions and a week of discussion. The Wichita City Council sending a 1% sales tax now to a public vote.
Brock Wilson was at today's City Council meeting. He joins us with more on the decision and what it means for you.
Rachel, Mike, today's decision to have Wichita voters decide on a 1% sales tax was unanimous, but it was far from easy. The Wichita City Council received close to 2 hours of public comment and had a lengthy discussion amongst themselves.
I believe the people of Wichita deserve a choice and deserve a choice for themselves.
I think this gives people an opportunity to say they want to support it or not.
This way, we have an opportunity for the community to weigh in and make the decision.
Those beliefs what ultimately led to this vote.
Motion passes 7-0.
Wichita City Council members somewhat reluctantly sending a 1% sales tax to a public vote, but not before hearing comments from community members.
As I think about what's being proposed, the allocations, they really do address several things in our community, needs in our community.
We again urge the City Council to allocate a larger share of sales tax to property tax relief.
Both the Wichita Area Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Wichita Partnership voicing their support for the proposal, but other people strongly opposed.
A banker, a businessman, and a developer come to the City Council for $1 billion tax increase. It sounds like a bad joke, and frankly it is.
Some sharing a list of concerns.
Concerned with the opposition online, concerned with the opposition in the media, concerned with the opposition from trusted activists that care about this community.
And a few city council members also voicing their dissatisfaction with the proposal, but they agreed it should go to a public vote. The nonprofit that proposed the sales tax, Wichita Forward, delighted with the decision.
Wichita Forward is excited that the people of Wichita now have the opportunity to evaluate the sales tax on its merits. It's been 3 months looking at all the various issues associated with it and how it impacts them personally and how it impacts our city, and then give them a chance to vote on March the 3rd.
And that's Election Day, March 3rd. The election commissioner estimates it will cost the city about $150,000.